going to be an amazing movie because I know it's something that the world needs to
Yeah.
see. The challenge being for you, though, is that you're currently crowdfunding, right?
Yes.
What are the, why did you choose? I, I know nothing really about filmmaking. I was initially part of a docu series on Netflix where they were doing interviews and so on. So I know a
Hmm.
certain piece. But why choose crowdfunding?
Hmm.
What's the number that you're looking for? And what's the time frame?
Sure. So I'll
You
work my
go
way
right
up to
ahead.
that answer.
Yep.
So being a woman filmmaker, it would have been much easier to do this as a documentary. If I had chosen to tell this story in a documentary form, there are a whole lot of grants that I could have competed for and probably gotten had I chose to go the documentary route. But I chose full feature film to tell this story because I know that that is the best way to pull people in, to get them attached to this story, right? And so, because I decided to do a full feature film, they're getting fun. Now it's a different experience funding this film. It's a completely different venue, avenue, path that I have to take. So somebody once said, they said, Lisa, you're just laying down track for a train that's coming. So this is me. Everything that I'm doing now is laying down train ties for this funding train that will eventually catch up to what we're
Yep.
doing. So feature films are expensive. They just are. And I'll say this, that regardless of your color, regardless of your gender, no gender, regardless of sexual orientation, no sexual orientation, film making is hard. It is a difficult process, regardless of who you are. White, male, black woman, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Now, there are your level of hard increases when you increase those those things, right? So those special things that make us all special. So the
Right.
darker your skin gets to be, if you love somebody who is not considered normal, then it gets a little harder to get those stories funded and get them told.
Right.
Despite
So
all
you
this,
didn't pick an easy topic.
no, I didn't. I I didn't. I did, and it amazes me the amount of hatred, just hatred on a community, and you don't and you've never engaged anyone in the community. You just
It's
have lumped
shocking, isn't it?
you have lumped everyone into one big dish, and we hate the whole thing. And so part of what this move, I am not part of some great gay agenda. No one reached out to me and say, tell their story and help us further an agenda. That is not that is not how this came about. This is, again, loosely based on, this is my experience. I can
Mhm.
talk about this. This is what happened to me. This is what, loosely what happened to me, and how life happens, right? And the beautiful thing right now is that I have so many, for every person that has criticized the work, that has made fun, it's like, oh my God, it's like, I don't support the LGBT community. It's like, I don't want to hear anything about it, or I can't do it, or it's against my religion. And, all these things, for as many times as I've heard that, I have heard from people with lived experience, Walters, Kellys, and everybody's in between, Carolyn's. I have heard from them, and they say, I see myself in this story, and it needs to be told because no one's ever talked about this. I had someone who covered my script, and they said, Lisa, this has never been seen on screen before. It's like you've happened on something that just has not been seen. So, of course, there's, you expect some pushback. That's normal.
Mhm.
That's with everything.
Yep.
But at the same time, in my business, Pretty Work Creative, I work with nonprofits, right? And so it is to help them tell their stories and to help amplify voices that need to be heard because nonprofits do amazing work out here in the community, and that work needs to be amplified. Legislators, politicians, community leaders, business people need to see and know how their decisions impact regular people. So if you want to know how something is impacting normal folk, regular folk, talk to the nonprofit leader who is servicing that community.
Right.
They
Right. For
know.
sure.
They absolutely know. And so if you want to know what it's like to be the daughter of an LGBTQ member, ask the daughter.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's you. Exactly. And
Ask
that's
me.
what makes the story so much richer, is
Mm,
that sprinkling of personal experience on top of it.
yes.
It just adds those pieces, and it will take time.
Yeah.
As I was, you haven't here's you haven't put the number out there. This
Oh,
is
I can tell.
my
So
please,
we
please.
are currently we're currently raising $50,000. Now, the $50,000 is not how much it costs to make this film. $50,000 is what allows us to start having conversations
Hmm.
with key people, and you need to start having these key conversations, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we're looking at a budget of maybe 1.5 to $2 million to produce this film.
Hmm. That's
And
and if you'd asked me a number of years ago if I thought that was a lot, I would say no. I don't think that that's a lot. I actually took, when I was reading the numbers,
mhm,
I can do them in my head, but I always want to do it on a calculator. I went, okay, so there's 8.3 billion people in the world, and there's 330 million people in the United States. And if you took I don't know whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, but uh, not, and this is,
yes,
believe me, everybody, this is not a support of
right, right,
Donald
right.
Trump. But if you took a book out of his playbook and said, everybody who has an interest and wants to learn more about this and see this movie be produced,
Mhm,
$5, $10
mhm.
from, it'll come so quickly,
You
but
would think.
it's getting, it's visibility. It's
Yes,
the
yes.
same challenges for businesses. It's visibility, and it's making it, you know, visibility, passion about the product,
Mhm.
the product or whatever you're talking about, and ease of getting the dollars to you.
Absolutely.
Three simple steps.
Yes.
That's all it is, and that's what we're going to help you in a little wee bit, is to help
And
get
that's a
started.
part, so there was a strategy to to all of
Yeah,
this.
I know.
There was a strategy, and it's talked to as many people. It didn't matter if you were gracious enough to give me time and space to share this message, I was going to share it because you never know what gets picked up, when, and who hears what. So I have said yes to I've said yes to everybody. I've
Well,
only
I
had
just
one regret, and it's like, what in the world was that? But so everything else,
Well, this is fantastic.